Okay, folks, let's get on to our game of the week. And you can enter the competition, win some big prizes. Here's some advice for you. I think it's a crazy match. I've chosen Chelsea at home against Tottenham. And it happens to be, by the way, on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. That's Sunday. Looking forward to it. It's such an important match for both Chelsea and Spurs in the race for top four. So let's first of all start by asking the question, when last did Tottenham win at Stamford Bridge? Well, I'm afraid for Spurs supporters, and as you probably know, I'm one, the answer is not good reading. You have to go back to the 10th of February 1990. Yeah, that's over 28 years since Spurs last beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, so that's not a good stat. However, not so sure about Chelsea this season. They've blown a little bit hot and cold. You're never quite sure what you're going to get. The body language of their manager Conte is sometimes excellent, sometimes poor. And of course, Spurs have been quite consistent. They have won 8 times on the road. So if I have a look at the 15 matches they've played away from home, they've won 8 of them. But critically, they've scored 28 goals in those 15 matches. So they can score on the road. Chelsea, on the other hand, their 15 games at home this season in the Premier League, they've scored 26 goals. So interesting that Spurs score more goals away in their 50 matches than Chelsea have scored at home. So what does that say? Well, you've got to also factor in the stat, which I've got up on screen here, and that is that Chelsea have only conceded 11 goals at home. So I think it's going to be a very tight match. What about life without Harry Kane? Everybody's saying, well, Chelsea must be overwhelming favourites because there's no Harry Kane. Well, interestingly enough, I don't think that's going to bother Spurs too much. They've learnt in the past to live without great players like Gareth Bale and Luka Modric, and they've done okay. And Harry Kane, when he has been injured, hasn't always been missed as much as people thought. In fact, I did a bit of a stat, although there is some variation on the internet here, but 64% of the time when Spurs play with Harry Kane, they win. But when they play without him, they win 58% of the time. So that's not much of a difference, 6%, that wouldn't worry. So what am I going to say? Well, at the end of the day, it's April Fool. Even I can't go for a Tottenham result to win at Stamford Bridge, but I do think that it might be a little bit tight, and perhaps we could see a low-scoring draw. That draw wouldn't help Chelsea so much, but it would help Spurs because they would keep Chelsea in 5th place in the league behind them. Could it be 0-0? Maybe that's pushing it a bit. Maybe a 1-1 scoreline. But the bottom line, it's going to be an absolute cracking match at Stamford Bridge. Enjoy the action. I'm going for the score draw, maybe an outside bet, the 0-0 draw. It is, after all, April Fool's Day, and it's at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Spurs. Good luck with the game of the week.